So finally we have a brand new official update about what is going on with patch 1.2. Here is a very long-winded blog post from CD Projekt RED on their official website. They also have some interesting videos here showcasing the difference between patch 1.1 and 1.2. We're going to be talking about changes to the police system. We're going to be talking about new updates to gameplay, to the core systems with the game, and so much more. So hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good, and let's dive straight into what's happening with Cyberpunk 2077, this brand new update right now. It goes on to say this right here: what's new in Night City patch 1.2 development insight. This was just posted. It says, welcome to the special report of N54 News, bringing news from Night City to every Night citizen stranded away from home. Stay with us if you'd like to learn more about some of the upcoming changes. I'm Jillian Jordan, and here's what's new in Night City. So you kind of see it's presented in this like news broadcaster type way. Let me know what you make of that. It says NCPD Quick Response Team 2 Quick. They're referring here, of course, to the police system being broken. They said, you heard right, the NCPD Quick Response Team is under fire from concerned Night citizens and corporations alike. The rapid deployment tactics they recently adopted forced mercenaries to think twice before pointing a gun at anyone, but will now be adjusted to give the other side some breathing room. And they give like a quick example right here in this video. They show an example of a crime happening, and I guess how police will respond right here. We have a little miniature robot. So this is like, I suppose, the new system. It does say in the title patch 1.2. And this is video number 1. We're going to go over and showcase some other changes with the game. These are like previews of what's to come here. And you can see how the police are actually responding right here. So they are updating the police system right now. And of course, you know, in my opinion, you know, they got to match what the modders have been doing. You've seen the modding community actually having police chases, working police motorcycles, all sorts of cool stuff. So I hope they really can match what those guys have actually done with PC modding. Now it says what was supposed to make night citizens feel safe on the streets resulted in a staggering drop of public trust towards NCPD officers. It says, my chum Jake was in a shootout with Tiger Claws the other day when he missed a shot and hit a pedestrian on the other side of the street. In an instant, the NCPD swarmed up on him and put him down. It's like they appeared out of thin air right behind his back. It's too brutal a response for a regular accidental murder, if you ask me. Now it says, aside from upsetting the local community, the NCPD effectiveness resulted in a tremor in the corporate security market. It says, personal security in Night City has always been our priority. The recent spike in NCPD efficiency might seem like a step towards safety, but it isn't. Upsetting the fragile balance in the security sector might soon result in more people canceling their protection subscriptions and inviting gangs and terrorists to take over the city, says Andre Foreman, Militech PR manager. So they're giving like actual story reasons behind the changes and the update. Let me know how you guys take how this is presented, or do you think it should be more straightforward? I'm curious. I've seen some mixed opinions on how they are actually presenting the patch changes. Now, it says right here, regardless of how you look at the situation, it seems that the change will be a welcome one. We asked experts to analyze the situation. It says, this is an important step in addressing the behavior of the police in our game. It should decrease the problem of NPCs spawning behind players' backs and create an impression that it takes some time for the police to arrive at the crime scene after the crime has been reported. We've also added a Recon drone unit to create the feeling of the police assessing the situation. Patrick, lead gameplay designer, and Lucas, technical design coordinator at CD Projekt RED, said right there. So I don't know, it seems like kind of a similar system to what they have currently. It's just that they're giving more breathing room, perhaps. We'll see how this works. I hope they give more detail about police chases, police engaging in cars, like an actual working system in that regard. Now it says vehicle manslaughter statistics higher than ever. It says look left, then right, then look left again, and then run for your life as morgues are filling up with roadkill. It is now statistically safer to stroll through Kabaki Market with shiny new cyberware than to cross some of the Night City's intersections. The city council approved a bill forcing vehicle manufacturers to update their steering firmware, and they show some improved vehicular controlling right here with update 1.12 on the left, and then the new update right here. You can go into your options settings and change the settings right here with adjusting the steering, and then have better steering, I guess, with this game. I cannot wait to actually try it as well, because a lot of people do not like the controls with the vehicles in the game. And again, modders have been on top of that, so I'm curious to see how this is going to compare to what the modding community has already done. So that's going to be very interesting to see if CD Projekt RED can actually compete against what the modders could do. Now it says, soon the mandatory update will allow for better synchronization between the Crystal Dome system and the vehicle, resulting in a more fluid driving experience even when the image signal skips a frame or two. In addition, drivers should also expect to be able to personalize their driving experience by adjusting the sensitivity limits to a level that they're comfortable with, providing a much needed breather for insurance companies. It says, will this be a good change, or will it be subject more street sweepers and auto repair shops to economic hardship? Here's an opinion from our experts. As analyzing feedback on our driving model suggests a lot of players were having issues with the speed of steering. Most complaints came from players using keyboards on PC or were on platforms with lower frame rates, and centered around how hard it was to keep cars off the sidewalks and such. We have added a steering sensitivity slider in the options menu. This allows the steering speed for all vehicles and all input devices to be slowed down without affecting the maximum turn radius. When experiencing lower frame rates, our cars were harder to control. We traced this to some code that wasn't handling extreme changes in frame rate properly. The steering speed is now very consistent from 20 to 60 frames per second. So that's good news. As last, we looked at a bunch of tweaks to individual cars and just some of them that were too twitchy and low frame rates, including the player's Archer Hella. And this comes from Samas, Senior Vehicle Programmer at CD Projekt RED. So it's going to be good that they are actually adjusting, once again, the vehicle handling in the game. Now it says, this rock and roll for racers. No, it's not a new genre of music. The brand new rock and roll vehicle subsystem will allow any unfortunate street racer who missed a turn and ended up stuck on a pile of garbage to quickly get back on track. The system will allow drivers to rotate or rock their vehicles back and forth in order to regain traction. So if you miss those turns because of the mini map, you will be able to actually use this system. And of course, if you get your car stuck here, you saw here before patch 1.2, you were stuck. That was it. Now they're going to have a system with patch 1.2 where you can actually apparently reset your vehicle, bounce around your car, and get free. This should have been in the game initially, of course, because it's in pretty much every open world game out there, but it's good to see that they are actually updating the game with this simple of a mechanic. Now, it goes on to say this: gone are the days of abandoning a vehicle in the middle of the city just because things are out of control. Accidents happen, and being in a rush isn't a crime. Now, if somebody appears out of nowhere when you're crossing a red light, you will still be able to make it to your meeting on time and let your insurance take care of the mess. Now, it says, still not sure whether or not you need subsystem installed in your vehicle? Let our expert convince you. And there are cases where our vehicles can get beached or high centered on stuff. In Night City, we have now added an unstuck feature that kicks in when you are accelerating, not moving. While holding down the accelerator, you can now rock the vehicle forward or back, or rotate left and right. Says Simas, Senior Vehicle Programmer at CD Projekt RED. Now, also says update your neuroprocessor drivers or die. This is not a joke. It's raining men in Night City, and not for reasons you'd expect. Just over the last month, authorities recorded nearly 4,000 fatal accidents caused by a neuroprocessor glitch, causing users to dodge without intending to. The manufacturer has prepared an update to address this issue, and this is directly related to the dodging in the game. So with patch 1.2, you can now have a dodging on movement input key as well. And let's see what it actually says here. It goes on to say, according to our survey, over 30% of all night citizens experience an irresistible urge to burst forward for no reason, and the majority of affected people admitted that it put them in danger of falling from a high place. Manufacturer claims that the glitch is caused by a lack of perfect synchronization between the user's brain and patterns and the neuroprocessor. This update will allow users to better personalize their chips and match software response with their natural patterns. Aside from resolving the issue with sudden dodging, it will also mean that people will find it easier to move and use the chip regardless of their handiness, abilities, or personal preferences. Let's see what CD Projekt RED had to say about this in layman's terms. They say dodge on double tapping a movement key can now be turned off in the control settings, which that video was highlighting. The dodge action can still be performed by double tapping the crouch toggle action key default C. It should now be more feasible to move WASD bindings around the keyboard. There still remains a few bindings that need to be addressed, but these should be fixed in upcoming patches, says Wojtek, Tools Program at CD Projekt RED. And it says, thank you for tuning in to what's new in Night City. We'll see you next time. They don't have an actual release date for update 1.2. They just say soon. Like, this will be out soon. And again, they did say right here at the beginning that you're going to want to stay with us if you'd like to learn more about some of the upcoming changes. So it seems like they're going to be releasing more of these N54 news wires. Let me know how you feel about how they've actually bundled this into like the game's lore with this whole news network system that's reporting on improvements within Night City. How do you feel about that? But that's the latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077. Once we have an actual release date for everything going on with patch 1.2, I will let you guys know. Of course, it sounds like it's going to be dropping very, very soon. We are in that time frame right now, but who knows? I'll let you guys know if it's delayed until April. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.